Bien, y ahora, last but not least, we have the representation of Qualcomm Technologies. Roberto Di Pietro, Vice President Business Development of Europe, will tell us what is the lines of exploration of a company as advanced as Qualcomm.
Can I move there?
Yes, of course.
Okay, thank you. So first of all, thanks for inviting me here. It's really an honor, but also a pleasure to be with these industry players and also with the students, right? Guys, you are in the right place, in the right industry. You will see how much of the innovation, I mean, the telecommunication platform is the biggest platform in the mankind, in the history, in terms of connected people, connected device, and also in terms of money that the industry worldwide is investing. So honestly, after Danielle and Isidro presentation, my presentation is more of kind of summary of your presentation. It's not by chance because both Ericsson and Telefonica are one of our best partners to develop innovation around the world. Now, let me see, it's working here. It's not working.
You put here. There we go.
Yeah. Okay, good. So, looking at the platform, right, the industry, the mobile industry, and the telecommunication industry in general, you can see that we already have a massive penetration of smartphones. So, there is a plan that clearly shows that the smartphone is our closest things. The smartphone knows exactly what we are doing, what we like, where are we, and we are going to have 7 billion new smartphones in the next 5 years, right? So 7 billion. Together with the traffic growth, because the devices are more connected, the cloud are more present in our life, day-by-day life. And so we are expecting to have also, as Isidro mentioned, a massive growth of data traffic. And we are expecting to have, on average, doubling the traffic data every year for the next year. And this is not just because of the smartphone, but because the connected world will massively penetrate our life. There are some analysis that shows that in the 2020, we are going to have 25 billion devices connected to each other and connected to the network. And of course, and this is one of the Ericsson and the Telefonica problem, connected to a network. So how to connect all these things together. And by the way, this is not anymore a mobile-only problem. This is now more and more a convergent problem. Because in our house, at home, we have more and more convergent device, convergent equipment that will deliver services seamless to the fixed wired network, to the mobile network. So all in all, smartphone computing, consumer electronics, and also the clouds that will play a role in the infrastructure through the virtualization of the network will generate a massive increase of data traffic. And this is the 1000x challenge for this industry, right? So we are expecting to have the data traffic growth by 1,000 times in the next years. So more connection, but not only more connection, more rich content. The 4K content is just something that is starting now. I mean, this Christmas you will see in the stores a massive number of 4K display. I think also the Apple iMac with the 5K launch is a clear statement that the 5K and the 4K evolution in the more and more sophisticated screen is where the consumer is going, right? So it's not just the more connected things, but it's also more rich content. So, and how we have to handle it, right? So there are some basic pillars that is helping us to handle this massive data growth. So we need to have a solution. So definitely we have more spectrum, and we will see later on. I mean, more spectrum will be made available. I think both in licensed and unlicensed, but definitely the spectrum needs to be made available. Also through the refarming from old technology to new technology. Then more capacity is needed, right? So more cell, more dense network. So small cells that are close to the user where the data is consumed. And then more technology that will help to have an effective usage at the cell edge, where the performance are lower. There are massive investment in innovation, in trying to help the user experience at the cell edge to be really, really, really improved. Now, all the things here, right? So more spectrum, more data traffic, more rich content impose us to innovate, right? Innovation in this industry is equal to economy of scale, and is equal to the capability that this company has to invest in R&D, in research and development. And Qualcomm has this role in this industry from the moment where we born, I mean, almost 20 years ago. We invest in something close to $30 billion in R&D. And just last year, we invested almost $4.5 billion. So that's the economy of scale that the innovation impose in this industry. So now, LTE, we mentioned about 4G, and then moving to 5G. 4G is not checkbox. It's not something that is already done, and it's a complete evolution. There are lots of elements that the 4G is evolving. One is the leverage on the wider bandwidth, so how to aggregate, as Isidro mentioned, the different spectrum that is available. The spectrum is fragmented, and so what we are trying to do together with the infra vendor is trying to help the operator to aggregate the spectrum where it's available in order to provide a seamless user experience as the spectrum was contiguous, right? So we are now already in the market. There are some devices with a 2-carrier aggregation, so aggregating 20 plus 20 megahertz spectrum that you can reach up to 300 megabit downlink, but the evolution is moving to 3-carrier aggregation, so 450 megabit per second, up to 4 and 5-carrier aggregation. So we are expecting to have in the next years up to 1 gigabit, right, in the 4G as the evolution, right? So, but this is, in order to do it, the other element of innovation is how to optimize the antenna. I mean, you can imagine this kind of thin, sexy device. You need to have Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, 3G, 4G, 2G antenna. So the complexity.
And GPS.
And GPS. And even GLONASS, that is, and even Galileo. So it's a very complex element, right? And so you need to integrate everything, and the network is becoming more and more dense. So you really need to have a smarter antennas, a new way of the way antennas are working, and this is all about MIMO. So taking different paths from the network. Listen to what is around you and optimize the signal in order to have an optimized management of the spectrum and the related interference. Then the other point that I think Isidro briefly mentioned is creating a dense network to cope with all this massive growth of data impose a change of topology of the network. So macro cells, the one that you are studying, are not anymore enough. You need to move to other layers. So pico, small cells, something that get closer to the user. And the complexity of the network is exploding in this way. So we are building, again in partnership with the infra vendor and again with Ericsson, what we call the self-organizing network algorithm that is another element of intelligence that you have to put on the device and on the network to help the network to self-organize and reduce the interference. This will help the network to be more dense. And then, of course, the new frontiers are also how to aggregate not only the classical spectrum, but the unlicensed spectrum that is available, how to aggregate LTE with Wi-Fi, so aggregating not only the classical spectrum, but also different technologies. So as an example, how to aggregate LTE with Wi-Fi, how to aggregate LTE with other spectrum. Then there is also the LTE broadcasts, how to optimize the content consumptions, the 4K content consumption in the broadcast way. And then also we are building also new technology that is helping a peer-to-peer, one-to-one discovery communication through devices. I have 2 more minutes. Yeah. Okay. So trying to shrink. So this is also moving to, at the end of the day, we need to have a step further. So, and this is all about 5G. 5G is an enhancement of 4G. So it is all about connecting new industries, connecting new devices, and providing new user experience. It's important to say that the 5G is a step forward, but we still see absolutely critical to maintain the 4G and 3G development underneath the 5G evolution. So in essence, as I mentioned, LTE is not a checkbox. We are still developing a massive amount of features and investments on 4G up to 2020, where we are expecting to see the first implementation of 5G. And I mean, the ambition of 5G is really to have you know, a very flexible, robust, and reliable network. I mean, one of the ambition to set the target of the 5G is, you can imagine how to virtualize our pacemakers, right? As we mentioned. How to virtually have a surgery from US to Africa, right? You need to have a reliable, if you have your brain, your logic of your pacemaker in the clouds, and you have a 99% reliability, this is not enough. You have to have 99.99999. Otherwise, you are dead, right? And this is the ambition. And also a very flexible environment and network and ecosystem that will adapt the bandwidth to the real needs. So you need 1 gigabit, you need 5 gigabit as we test, yes, but you need also few bits for some of the machine-to-machine capability, right? So this is also all about flexibility in embracing all the different industry. This is, I mean, in order to do that, there is an element of spectrum again. Definitely we need to open the spectrum and above 6 megahertz in order to achieve this kind of 5 gigahertz, as Ericsson already demonstrated with Docomo. And so that's an element where the dense network and the big capacity is needed. So we see the multi-mode device in, after 2020 being 5G, 4G, and still 3G in order to provide the complete user experience. To close, I mean, I'm talking about the rich, at the beginning I talked about the rich content, right? 4K that is coming. And 4K is going to be a given from the user, from the customers. I mean, some of the devices are already capable of 4K recording, but this is you know, it's one massive investment from all the players. You know, the device, when you develop a device for how to handle this content, you need to think about the pipe. What is going inside the pipe is based on the capability of the camera to record high quality, and what is outside is the screen capability. Now that you can stream out, even for a 4K TV, right, your content, there is no more barrier on what is the output of this pipeline, and also the input is unlimited, because now we have 40 megs camera, we have 4K content, so the massive investment of innovation that we deliver into the chipset is currently capable to provide encoding and decoding 4K capability. We truly believe that the adoption of 4K content will be significantly driven by the self-generated content, 4K content uploaded on YouTube, as an example. To close, that's the last one. We talk about Internet of Everything, right, or Internet of Things. I mean, we prefer to define Internet of Everything, EOE. Then I said that we are expecting to have 25 billion different devices and different elements at home, your car, your healthcare environment around you. So you need to have an ambiguous approach to the network. You need to have a massive reliability. And I think that Qualcomm is also positioned to, play the role in this economy of scale. And I think also Europe in particular is one of the main players where the innovation will be built around the Internet of Things. So with that, I close my... Thank you.